All right, guys. So welcome back. Thank you so much. Let's get comfy here real quick. All right. So now that you guys know about me a little bit, know a little bit of who I am, we're going to move forward. So I've got my screen shared here. We're going to talk about what is Bitcoin. If you already know what Bitcoin is, if you already have Bitcoin, if you're already a diehard Bitcoin expert, scroll on down. Just scroll down through the video, through the website that I'm, sharing this with you. Go down farther to some other videos and forget this. But for everybody who's brand new, everybody keeps asking me all day long on Facebook, on Instagram, what is Bitcoin? How do I get Bitcoin? Can I even get Bitcoin? Like all these different questions. And I want to share with you guys, YouTube, YouTube, guys. YouTube right here. Just type in what is Bitcoin. Like you can literally get a college education through YouTube and Google these days, but you just need a mentor. You just need someone like me to help coach you through it. So, if you have more questions, if you want to dig around and go like, look how many different videos there are. There's 50 million videos, all kinds of videos on what is Bitcoin. I'm going to start here. Let's just start here with this one. I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence. It's not meant to be some stupid little cartoon, but this really helps explain things. This has nothing to do with, being a cartoon or not. Just pay attention to this real fast, and we'll give you a 2-minute synopsis on what is Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency. Bitcoins are digital coins you can send through the internet. Compared to other alternatives, Bitcoins have a number of advantages. Bitcoins are transferred directly from person to person via the net without going through a bank or clearinghouse. This means that the fees are much lower. You can use them in every country. Your account cannot be frozen, and there are no prerequisites or arbitrary limits. Let's look at how it works. Bitcoins are generated all over the internet by anybody running a free application called a Bitcoin miner. Mining requires a certain amount of work for each block of coins. This amount is automatically adjusted by the network such that Bitcoins are always created at a predictable and limited rate. Your Bitcoins are stored in your digital wallet, which might look familiar if you use online banking. When you transfer Bitcoins, an electronic signature is added. After a few minutes, the transaction is verified by a miner and permanently and anonymously stored in the network. The Bitcoin software is completely open source, and anybody can review the code. Bitcoin is changing finance the same way the web changed publishing. When everyone has access to a global market, great ideas flourish. Let's look at some examples of how Bitcoins are already used today. You can purchase video games, gifts, books, servers, and alpaca socks. Several currency exchanges exist where you can trade your Bitcoins for dollars, euros, and more. Bitcoins are a great way for small businesses and freelancers to get noticed. It doesn't cost anything to start accepting them. There are no chargebacks or fees, and you'll get additional business from the Bitcoin economy. For your first Bitcoins and more information, visit weusecoins.com.
Boom. So that's a simple, easy, easy. You can go to weusecoins.com if you wanted to learn more. Forgive me on that cold still. All right, so here's one more for the people who don't really like the cartoon thing. I want to share with you, a couple little videos. We're going to just do one more here. What the WTF is Bitcoin, right? And then I'm going to move forward. So here's another quick 5-minute video. Give you guys a little bit of a explanation here.
On your computer, you get graphics. I write pretty much all day, every day.
Skip that for you. All right, let's check this out.
Or this or that. For people that maybe are hearing this for the first time, how do you explain Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is a currency that exists on the internet, that is created on the internet, that really serves the needs of the internet generation. It does not belong to any government. It's not controlled by any bank. Bitcoin isn't a company or product or a service. It's an internet protocol. It's a method of communication, just like we say the web or email, and that doesn't belong to anyone. It's a shared common public good on the internet. Bitcoin is a digital currency and payment system that is a shared good, and it is controlled collectively by the participants in the network. And creating a currency that does not belong to a nation seems weird at first, but then again, we used to have airlines that only existed for one nation and had the flag on the tail, right? Flag carriers, they called them, and phone companies that were monopolies in one nation and had the flag on them. And now
now that seems absurd. And I think within 20 years, the idea of national currencies as the only option will seem absurd. What Bitcoin is a completely global and open system of money that anyone can participate in without asking permission, without registering for an account or showing ID. All they need to do is download an app. Just like if you want to participate on the web, all you need to do is download the browser. If you want to participate in Bitcoin, all you need to do is download the Bitcoin wallet. And the moment you do so without registering with anyone or creating an account, you can send and receive Bitcoin. And why would you send or receive Bitcoin? Well, for many people who live in Western advanced nations who have debit cards and tap to pay, and it's not really necessary. But in a broader sense, we live in a world that is very fragmented, where money faces borders, very hard borders, strict lines of demarcation between countries and currencies. And you have these national currencies that are badly managed by governments and banks in countries where there is very little difference between a government, a bank, and an organized crime syndicate. All three are the same. The governments are organized crime syndicates.
Zimbabwe, maybe.
And dozens of countries are like that. And so what happens when they have a crisis is they take the entire population hostage with them. They shut down the borders. They create currency controls. You can't withdraw money from the ATMs. You can't exchange money for another currency. You go with the ship and sink down with it. And what's interesting is that Bitcoin is one of those things that actually offers safe haven in that particular situation. But it also allows people who have never had a bank account to connect to a global financial system simply by downloading an application on a very, very simple smartphone or even using text messaging. And there's more than 4 billion people who are in that situation. So the vast majority of the human population have not no banking, but very limited banking facilities. Single currency with strict conditions on what they can import and export. And Bitcoin bypasses all of that. It gives everybody a currency that is open and global. And so that creates some very interesting conditions in the world. It allows us to create a kind of unified financial system that exists outside of the mandates of governments, that is completely private and is very empowering for individuals. And
it scares the hell out of governments and banks.
It scares the hell out of governments that find it peculiar to have people in control of their own money. At which point you should really ask yourself, what kind of government is that doesn't believe in freedom of association, freedom of expression, freedom of commerce? That's more of an indictment of that kind of government than it is of Bitcoin. If your government is afraid of Bitcoin, you should ask yourself, what kind of government do I have? Most liberal governments are not afraid of Bitcoin. They see it as an opportunity for growth and jobs, and they call the industry fintech, the cornerstone of technology. And in fact, they should see it that way, fintech. Yeah. This is one of the things that can compete with banks. And banks really need competition, right? They're way too comfortable with their power and established systems, right?
Exactly.
Continue watching this
So guys, just a couple of videos. If you're watching this for the very first time in your life ever, and very first time hearing about Bitcoin was maybe just, a few days ago, and then you saw something on my social media and then you came to me, you might need to watch some of this a couple times, okay? You might need to go and go to YouTube and ask, what is Bitcoin? Because my days are consisting of teaching and training my tribe on the inside, not just teaching somebody what Bitcoin is. That's something that you can Google. That's something you can YouTube. So please understand, I want a tribe of people that are just go-getters. I want people that are motivated and hungry. And you guys know you can get on YouTube here and you can figure out a bunch of information. So get on YouTube, get on Google, check it all out. Go further, go further into this, dive into this, go as deep as you want to. And so now I'm going to share with you, I'm going to go to this video here because I want you just to grasp, maybe you don't fully understand what Bitcoin is just yet. Maybe you do understand and you're wanting to know, what you can do with it. Guys, like I got I got a Bitcoin, debit card right here that I can swipe this anywhere. You just saw in my last video, I just paid my cell phone bill with my Bitcoins. Like, this is money. But I want to share with you 5 reasons to invest in Bitcoin. Why should you buy Bitcoin? Why should you mine Bitcoin? Why should you care about Bitcoin? I got this one last video. I know I said 2 videos. I'm sorry. I got one more video, a 3rd video here. This is why you need to get Bitcoin. Check this out right here. 6 minutes, then we're going to move on. Promise.
Has only matured in recent years.
Let me back it up. I was already watching it earlier. I love these videos. There we
Digital
go.
gold. Bitcoin is one of the most controversial investment opportunities that exists today. Over the last 5 years, the value of Bitcoin has skyrocketed nearly 25,000%, meaning if you had the foresight to buy and hold early, you could have earned as much as 250 times your initial investment. That's enough to take $10,000 and turn you into a multi-millionaire. But many investors have still been keeping far away from Bitcoin, despite its historic rise. To the average person, it's just all too unfamiliar, too intimidating, and too risky. Yet after years of naysayers predicting that the sky will come crashing down, Bitcoin just keeps on chugging along. Hard to believe, but the cryptocurrency has been around for almost a decade now, and at this point, it doesn't seem to be going away. In fact, Bitcoin's bid as a serious investment has only matured in recent years, as the digital currency has come of age. Once rightfully considered a virtual lottery ticket, here are 5 reasons you may want to seriously consider investing in Bitcoin today. Reason number 1, more and more people are using Bitcoin every day. In its early days, Bitcoin was little more than a speculative bet for day traders hoping to turn a quick profit. That's because, as a currency, Bitcoin still had very little utility aside from on the black market. Like trying to pay for your rent in yen, buying goods with Bitcoin was just something you didn't do when the currency was still young. But after years of gradual adoption, more and more people are using Bitcoin for real-world transactions every day. In January 2010, Bitcoin was averaging less than 200 transactions a day. Today, the digital currency is used in as many as 300,000 transactions per day. In other words, Bitcoin is no longer just a form of money in theory, but it's become a form of money in practice. People are buying goods with it, just as they do with any other form of currency. For long-term investors, this is great news, because after all, that's where Bitcoin's value exists. So long as the adoption of Bitcoin as a currency continues to increase, value should move in tandem. Reason number 2, more vendors are accepting Bitcoin. There are 2 main reasons why Bitcoin transactions have and will likely continue to increase. The first is a growing acceptance from legitimate vendors. Since 2013, there have already been a number of major retailers that have taken the initiative to treat Bitcoin as a legitimate method of payment. Notable companies now include Expedia, which accepts Bitcoin for all hotel bookings, Overstock.com, which began accepting Bitcoin for its products in January of 2014, and Microsoft, which recently added Bitcoin as a payment option for its digital content. Other major vendors include Dell, Subway, Newegg, Tiger Direct, Tesla, PayPal, and Reed's Jewelers, to name just a few. Even the Sacramento Kings NBA franchise now accepts Bitcoin either online or at the Golden Wand Center Arena. That means that NBA fans can get tickets, jerseys, hot dogs, and yes, even beer with their Bitcoin. Reason number 3, volatility is trending down. On top of an increasing number of vendors accepting Bitcoin, price volatility is trending downward. And for long-term investors, that's certainly a good thing. In 2011, the 30-day volatility of Bitcoin was nearly 16%, but today it's closer to just 2% on a dollar basis. This means that day-to-day fluctuations in the price of Bitcoin are decreasing, and that the value of Bitcoin is becoming more stable. And for a form of currency, this is incredibly important, because it means consumers' money is becoming more reliable. If a loaf of bread cost $4 yesterday, $2 today, and $7 tomorrow, chances are you wouldn't have much faith in the dollar. The same rule applies to Bitcoin. The less volatile it is, the better it will fare in the fair market. Of course, Bitcoin will continue to have bouts of volatility, and is still years away from being completely stable. But at the time of this video's production, it's already on par with the Mexican pesos and South African rand. For a 10-year-old currency, that's not too bad. Reason number 4, Bitcoin is a hedge against economic uncertainty. For decades, if not centuries, gold has been the go-to safe haven in times of economic uncertainty. When stocks go up, people buy gold. When stocks go down, people buy gold. When economies collapse, people buy gold. But investors have increasingly turned elsewhere in recent years in the face of economic turmoil. When Cyprus's economy tanked in 2013, Bitcoin soared. When China's yuan collapsed in 2015, it happened again. And when Brexit sent tremors through the market in 2016, Bitcoin investors had a field day as the currency's value exploded more than $100 in a day. Bitcoin works as a hedge this way because it's disconnected from the traditional financial system. It offers an easy way for people to exit economies that revolve around government money and bad monetary policy. If you're one of the many people worried that the US dollar is on its last legs as a global reserve currency, Bitcoin isn't a bad bet. Reason number 5, buying and selling Bitcoin is easier than you think. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to be a computer scientist to invest in Bitcoin. Buying and selling the cryptocurrency is actually pretty simple. All you really need is a credit card, bank account, or PayPal to get started. There are a number of easy-to-use platforms for trading and storing Bitcoin. Some of the most reputable include Coinbase, Kraken, BitQuit, and Blockchain Wallet. Buying and selling Bitcoin today is about as easy as trading stocks. Once you're comfortable with whatever platform you choose, you can get started right away. But remember, Bitcoin still carries plenty of risk and should only account for a small portion of your portfolio. The best investors are well diversified, and Bitcoin is just one place to potentially grow your wealth. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to the Wealth Daily YouTube channel using the button below. For even more investing tips and commentary, sign up for our free newsletter right here.
Awesome. So you guys, let me see if I can get this off here. You guys see, all right. So you guys get an idea of what Bitcoin is. You're getting an idea of why you should be investing in it. Last thing I want to share with you in this video here is let's go to Coinbase. I'm going to share a link. I'm going to share a link under this video that I can, I can give you a link where you can get $10 for free. Whenever you set up your Coinbase account, get $100 worth of Bitcoin, you get $10 for free. So I'm going to give that to you just for being part of the tribe, just for being here, just for showing up. You get that. So I want to share with you guys. You might be looking at this. If you're not an investor, you might look at this and say, "What the heck? What the heck does this mean, Christa?" Well, I want to share with you. Look at this. What is today? Today's date right here, 11/26/17. Look at exactly a year ago. 11/26. Come on. All right, fine. We'll just do 11/27/2016. You see this price up here? $732. That's how much it costs for one Bitcoin. If we go back in time to even 2015, 2014, 2013, it was, pennies on the dollar. It's like pretend when Google first came out, whenever Microsoft first came out, a stock, just first comes out, it's really cheap. And now look at Microsoft and Google and Apple. They're up in the $1,000 for one stock. Well, look at what's going on with Bitcoin. If we go back a year ago, it was $700. And then we move forward this year. Look what about happened. About $2,000. That's still, oh, that's high, Christa. Oh, that's high. Look what happened as we continue. Look what's been going on this year. The price has been skyrocketing up until right now. It's $9,000 for one coin. For one coin. So, do you see how much percent that has increased? Maybe you don't fully understand the whole thing. I don't fully understand how a car and the combustion and everything works, but I know if I put the gas in the car and I push that gas pedal, I'm going to be driving. I'm going to turn the car on and push the gas pedal, I'm going to go. Maybe you don't fully understand this yet, but you need to understand that you need to at least put $10 into this or $20 into this. And I want to share with you, I'm going to share with you a little bit. We're going to go on to the next video. I'm going to teach you all about Coinbase, how to get your wallet set up. Once again, if you already know all about this stuff, move on to the next step. If you need to refresh your course, watch this video again. YouTube, Google, check out what Bitcoin is. I'm not going to sit here and hold your hand the entire way through this thing, but I'm gonna get you on the inside, and then daily, guys, I'm teaching you, training you. I got hot tips and tricks, but you got to get on the inside, and we're not even fully there yet. So I'm going to stop this video, get the link below, get your Coinbase account. On the next video, I'm going to teach you how to set up your Coinbase. From there, we're going to get really rocking and rolling. I'm going to teach you guys how to make some real good money in your sleep. Life is going to be incredible. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's go over here. There we go.